Jan Blachowicz versus Magomed Ankalaev took place in the main event of UFC 282, Blachowicz versus Ankalaev, and new light heavyweight world champion, the winner of Glover versus Jamal Hill. I don't know what's going on, okay? We just needed a clear winner, and here we have a draw. If anyone won that fight, Magomed Ankalaev won the fight, okay? I thought round 1 was really close and could go either way. I thought round 2 was Jan Blachowicz's round, very, very clear. I thought round 3 was very close. I actually leaned towards Ankalaev, but I get how you could give it to Jan Blachowicz because of the damage that he did to the leg of Magomed Ankalaev. And then round 4 was a 10-9 to Ankalaev, and I had round 5, a 10-8 round to Magomed Ankalaev. He got the takedown within like the first 30 seconds. It wasn't even a takedown. It was Jan sprawling a takedown and then falling over off balance afterwards, and Ankalaev ending up on top. And Ankalaev got a 10-8 round in the 5th. It's all based on who wins the first and third round. On damage, I get giving the third round to Jan Blachowicz. It was close on strikes, and Jan Blachowicz did more damage in round 3. He hurt the leg of Magomed Ankalaev and landed some really good punches as well. Round 2 was clear as day Jan Blachowicz. I actually thought after round 2, I was thinking, oh my god, Ankalaev's done. There's no way he can take more of these leg kicks. And then round 3, he got his other leg hurt by Jan Blachowicz. It all depends on who wins round 1. You know what? People are saying robbery. It's not even a robbery, though. It's all about who wins round 1. And round 1, I literally was done with round 1, and I said to myself, Ankalaev maybe based on the end, but Blachowicz did land better shots at the start of round 1. And he was winning like the majority of round 1, I thought. But then at the end of the round, Ankalaev was landing like teeps to the body and front kicks to the body. But in terms of good, meaningful shots outside of those teeps, Ankalaev was getting hit with leg kicks in round 1 that were just sort of like knocking his leg out of the way. And I think Jan Blachowicz landed like a big overhand left on the temple of Ankalaev in round 1. I need to rewatch the fight, but there were some interesting decisions on the card. But this fight genuinely wasn't a robbery. I know that sounds crazy to say because a lot of people are really angry about this, and our classic guru not helping out the Dagestani when it comes to a decision that could have gone either way. If anyone won this draw, it was Ankalaev. He proved that he was the better fighter, and he won the fight. But people really did instantly forget the first 3 rounds of this fight. Like, they were really close rounds. I'm going to need the Weasels video to break it down. Listen, they said Ankalaev landed more shots, but he didn't land better shots than Jan Blachowicz. Jan Blachowicz, I believe, landed a really big body kick in round 1, some really good leg kicks in round 1 as well, and again, a big left hand over the top on Ankalaev too. So I can understand the judge's decision. We'll get to the Pimlet-Gordon fight in a second, but I can understand the judge's decision here of a draw. I know it sounds weird, and it sounds weird to say it, and obviously I'll talk about the intricacies of each round of this fight as well, but I kind of get it. But Ankalaev proved he was the better fighter. I think if they have a rematch, I'll pick Ankalaev again because odds are he'll just go to the single legs a little bit quicker. I think he wanted to really test out his stand-up against Jan Blachowicz and then go for the grappling. But that being said, Jan Blachowicz was stuffing all of his takedowns early on. But yeah, I think it's not a bad decision. It was a very close fight. Listen, let's talk about the very obvious parts of this fight. I want to make a whole video on the whole Glover Jamal Hill situation as well because this is a mess. But round 1, very close. I actually, at the end of round 1, my chat had Jan Blachowicz, and I was saying Ankalaev won round 1 based on the end of round 1 where he landed a few more shots and I thought really kind of picked up the stats. But then again, Blachowicz landed better, cleaner shots in round 1. So I get scoring round 1 either way. Round 2, Blachowicz was really destroying the legs of Ankalaev. Like, it looked like Ankalaev was done. In all honesty, Blachowicz was going shin to shin with these inside leg kicks, and Ankalaev just, like, his leg gave out underneath him, pretty much. His leg gave out underneath him, and he started really limping on it and walking around really, really badly. And Blachowicz started even like gesturing towards him like, oh, you're not looking too good right now. Your leg's been done up. And Blachowicz even landed a couple of good shots as Ankalaev went for a takedown as well. Round 2, no doubt at all, Blachowicz's round. The clearest round outside of rounds 4 and 5. In the first 3 rounds, round 2, no doubt Blachowicz's round. Because Ankalaev shot for a single leg and Blachowicz was just like beating him up as he was shooting for it and then stuffing it and then getting back to chopping at the leg and making him switch stances and stuff like that. So round 2, clear Jan Blachowicz. But then round 3, although Blachowicz started to do good and landed a couple of calf kicks on Ankalaev early on and almost messed up his other leg, which is crazy. Messed up the other leg of Ankalaev with a couple of calf kicks. I think he went to the leg kick too much. And at the start of round 4, he did the same thing as well. He went to the kicks too much, thinking, I just need one more kick and he's done. But he went to him too much, and Ankalaev started to get a bit of a timing on those kicks and started to use them to get single legs and to push Blachowicz up against the cage. Ankalaev was for sure the stronger opponent out there. Blachowicz showed really good takedown defense, but yeah, Ankalaev was the stronger fighter out there for sure, especially against a cage. Here's what I will say, though, about this fight. I'm seeing a lot of reactions to the Pimlet-Gordon fight that don't make sense. Listen, I agree the decision was fucking weird. But people are saying the wrong things to justify why they're angry at it. I think, like, there's a consensus anger at the decision. But I see people, like, here on Full Violence. I love Jan and Ankalaev, but those last 2 rounds should have sealed the deal. So this guy ain't even arguing that Ankalaev should have won one of the first 3 rounds. So he doesn't win then. This is my problem with this. People aren't arguing the right things. This is getting out of hand, bro. This is ridiculous. When it comes to a decision. But people ain't like telling me what's wrong about it. Like Skinny Betts is like, this is ridiculous that they've done this. Tell me who won. Round 1 through 3, who won? Like, I saw people literally actively scoring it. In my chat, I had like 4K people in the chat. And everyone was like, Blachowicz, round 1. Could be Ankalaev, but we have Blachowicz. Blachowicz, round 2. Blachowicz, round 3. And I was the one saying round 1 and 3 were pretty close. But people are just being dumb with the outrage here. I think it's after the Pimlet-Gordon fight. Everyone's just a bit, like, all over the place. But this guy, I love Jan and Ankalaev, but those last 2 rounds should have sealed the deal and ignore the first 3. You know? I mean, this guy's saying maybe Magomed 1 and definitely 4 and 5, Jan 2 and 3, maybe Jan 1. Like, some people are actually okay with this decision, I guess. Like people are okay with it. People are saying someone's smoking crack giving Ankalaev the 3rd round. But Ankalaev was doing it more in the 3rd round. Like, he had a bunch of total strikes against the cage. I know he hurt his leg in that round, but Blachowicz didn't do much outside of that. So I think the anger is misaimed in this fight. Like, focus on the Gordon Pimlet thing, because that was weird. I don't know how they gave Pimlet round 1. No idea how 2 of the judges gave Pimlet round 1 and therefore the decision in that fight. That was a mess. That's just an absolute mess. But this one, like, I don't mind a draw here. But round 4, round 5, Ankalaev switched to single legs. And Blachowicz's defense off the single leg was not as good. But I think Blachowicz should have shot some takedowns because there's no way Ankalaev would have defended those takedowns on one leg. If Jan shot a good single leg on Ankalaev and got it, there's no way Ankalaev would be bouncing around on a single leg defending that takedown whatsoever. His legs were done. Like, he could not put all of his weight on one leg. So I think Blachowicz should have shot on him after hurting his legs. But now I find out that the rematch, which should happen, won't even be for a belt because it's Glover versus Hill. What a way to end the year before Christmas. The whole card was really good. Like, the whole card was really, really good. And obviously 10-8 in round 5. Oh, I want to mention this at the end of the video, though. The whole card was good, but these last 2 fights were weird as fuck. Joe Rogan is unfair. And I actually don't like Joe Rogan more and more for pulling this type of absolute bollocks. He coaxed out an answer of Jan Blachowicz on, like, this was a robbery. You should say that you lost this. That annoyed me so much, dude. Joe Rogan made Jan Blachowicz say that Ankalaev should have won that fight. Because Jan Blachowicz is a nice guy. He didn't know who won the fight. He was literally saying, I don't know. And he was about to talk about the first 3 rounds and talk about how the fight should have gone. And he wasn't sure who won. And he even said, I know I didn't win, but I don't think I lost. So he must have been thinking I could have won the first 3, but 10-8 in the 5th and round 4 is his. So it was a draw at least. And then Joe Rogan kind of coaxed the answer out of him while he's rocked. Jan Blachowicz literally said, I don't know, he took a lot of damage in round 5 and he's a little bit dizzy, little bit dizzy in the head and I don't know the fight, and all of this type of stuff. And Joe Rogan was like, and do you think you lost? Because people really do think you lost. And who do you think, Ankalaev should have won? It wasn't cut and dry. Ankalaev should have won, Joe Rogan. A draw is an acceptable result, and Rogan was hell-bent to coax an answer out of Jan Blachowicz while he's semi-concussed to say that he should have lost the fight. Honestly, pathetic. Really pathetic from Joe Rogan. Incredibly biased on the post-fight interviews. Where was that interview when Adesanya fought Whittaker in the rematch? Where was the interview? Where was the interview when Usman Covington 2 happened and that should have been a draw? And Usman won. Where was that interview from Joe Rogan? This was just as close of a fight to score. People were too caught up on the last 2 rounds. The first 3 rounds are genuine. I think Ankalaev maybe won round 1. I don't know for sure. So I would give this to Ankalaev. But it's not a terrible, oh my God, I can't believe they did this. Where was this outrage when Ngannou laid on Garn and did nothing in rounds 3, 4, and 5 and Garn out-damaged him? Where was the conversation with Ngannou about, do you think you lost? It's annoying, man. Such bias. And they really did coax it out of Jan Blachowicz that he should have lost that fight when he didn't really even want to say that at first. Like and subscribe. Thank you for watching. Toodle Pip. I'll see you later. If anyone won, it was Ankalaev. But now it don't even matter because it's just a mess of a light heavyweight division. Goodbye.